Hello, everybody. To help my marriage, I won't focus on my wife Lorraine this year. No. But instead, I intend to focus on my dear friends here at the Palms. Since this is my 6th year, I hope I don't repeat things I said in other years. But if I can't remember what I said, then surely you can't remember either. But if I happen to repeat one and anybody catches me on it, at the end of the evening you can go see George, and he'll be glad to give you a coupon worth 25% off on next year's comedy club. Now, my friends at the Palms and my wife always try to make me feel good. However, 3 things caused me to start worrying about my physical appearance. First, years ago, my very good friend Marty Applebaum was asking me who I use for my Medicare supplement. I told Marty I'm not Medicare eligible yet. So Marty asked me, how old am I? I said 62. So Marty then said, boy, God didn't do you any favors. Then just a few weeks ago, I was talking to my good friend who will remain anonymous, Sherwin Berman, at the pool, and we got into a discussion about age. And Sherwin asked me how old I was, and I told Sherwin that he should guess. So what does he do? He guesses 74. So I told him, Sherwin, I'm 67. So of course he has to say, get out of here, you're not 67. So then I reminded him, anytime you're guessing somebody's age, you always want to go on the very low side to make them feel good. So of course Sherwin says, that's exactly what I did. Now my dear wife, I'm married 41 years plus, and I get a haircut every month. So it's 12 haircuts a year, so we're dealing with 500 haircuts. There hasn't been one haircut yet that she has liked. Now I've been at least to 20-25 barbers between New Jersey and Florida. I've had all kinds of different hairstyles. So those variables are out of the way. There's only one constant in all this time, and I realized it. It's my face. So I mentioned it to Lorraine, and I asked, is it my face? And then she just laughed. Now we booked a cruise with Pap. And then I find out that next door to us on the right side are the Dennersteins. So I saw Larry at breakfast, and I said, please, do me a favor, just keep it down late at night. So Larry said, you don't have to worry, we don't do anything. So then I started to think, these cruise ships have smoking and no smoking sections. Instead, they should have schtick and no schtick sections. And being a non-stupper also, I figure I'm safe with Larry on the right side. But then I start worrying who's on my left side. And I think it's a Pap cruise. Who the heck is going to be stooping on a Pap cruise? Unless Schindelman. So I called Estelle Colin. She's arranging the whole thing. And I said, can you please tell me what stateroom the Schindelmans are in? She said, I'm the 15th person to call and ask. And then she said, don't worry about it. I know all about the Schindelmans. I've got it covered. I put them in a quarantine stooping room. All in 5 rooms to the left and 5 rooms to the right are vacant. Now, I argue with my wife about how much I have to pack for a cruise. Typically, I can pack all my stuff in a Publix bag. For instance, we argue about how many pairs of underwear I have to take. Think about this a little bit. Most people change their underpants maybe every 24 hours, maybe once a day or so. I happen to sleep in the buff. So I'm only in my underpants, let's say, 12 hours. Suit for 6 hours. So I'm wearing a pair of underpants for 6 hours. So one pair of underpants can go for 4 days. Now, if I really want to, after 4 days, I can turn my underpants inside out. But I'm not going to talk about that, then it may look like my shoes. Now I need one pair of underpants, but I also wear a pair of underpants to the ship. So that's good for 4 days too. So when I wear to the ship, I just need one pair of underpants in my Publix bag. And so that's what I do with my shirts and everything else. Lorraine winds up having a steamer valise, and I've got the Publix bag. Now you may know that every year I'm critical about our clocks here. Especially the ones at the pool, they never tell the right time. I campaigned to get them fixed, they never fixed. Anyway, at the end of October, we have daylight savings time, and the clocks are supposed to be turned back. So of course, for the first week, neither one is turned back, but that's okay, because you can tell what time it is, you just subtract it out from both. So then some genius decides to move one of the clocks back. They move the one all the way to the left side, the end of the pool, that's back. But the other clock wasn't moved back. So now no one can tell what the hell time it is. Now we have two different time zones at the pool. If you're toward the back of the pool, you're Eastern Standard Time. If you're toward the front of the pool, you're Central Time. We're the only community in Delray where, depending on where you sit, you're either relaxing or you're rushing. Everybody's aware we're having this clubhouse renovation. My father talked about it enough. Of course, there are bathroom renovations coming. I have no idea what they want to renovate with the bathroom. But the other day, I went to the men's room, and the men's room was locked. So I figured I'll go into the ladies' room. Dickinson just happened to be in the hallway. So I said to Dickinson, do me a favor, I'm going in the ladies' room. Just stand guard for me while I go so no one comes in. So Dickinson says that's fine. However, you should know that they kind of secretly did a little bit of renovating in that bathroom. And he tells me that there are 3 buttons by the toilet, and I shouldn't touch the buttons. So now I sit on the toilet, and I get very curious. So I touch the first button, and some warm spray of water comes right up to my tush. I touch the second button, and some warm air hits me. I'm feeling kind of good. Now I'm really curious, and I touch the third button, and I go running out. My pants are half by my ankles. And Dickinson said, what are you doing there? I said, I touched the buttons. He said, did you touch the third button? I said, yeah. He said, no, that's the automatic Tampax remover. some recommendations though for the renovations in the men's room. One, they should have an extra long urinal all the way down to the floor for those very few of us who are overly endowed. Two, they should paint targets in the urinals and in the toilets so our trip becomes more fun and we're less liable to pee on the floor. Three, they should have a galoshes dispenser. And four, for our younger guests, they should have condom dispensers. We can make some money for that, and we can charge extra for the Rough Rider. Just a little vignette here. We were out last year, 12 of us at a table at a restaurant called Tony Wu. And we were talking kind of loud, and on our way out, we passed the table for 10, and we apologized if we were too loud. We got into a discussion, we told them we were snowbirds. So they told us they were frogs. They come to Florida to croak. Lorraine was having trouble falling asleep. So she started taking 2 Benadryls at around 11 o'clock. Then she found that it was taking her about 3 hours or so she changed it. Now she's taking them at 9:30, so she gets to sleep around 12:30. I was having trouble sleeping, so she said to me, look, when I take my Benadryls, I'll bring out a glass of water for you with your 2 Benadryls at 9:30. So I started taking them every night. Sometime later thereafter, during the day, one day Lorraine turns to me and says, where were you last night? So I told Lorraine, I said, hey, look, I've been taking these Benadryls every day, and I'm falling asleep by 11 o'clock. I'm just not able to function the way you might want me to function. So then I figured, hopefully maybe the next night, I'll be out there and she won't give me any Benadryls. Well, sure enough, next night, here she comes with the freaking glass of water and the 2 Benadryls. That's repeating itself for a number of days. And one night, she doesn't come with any Benadryls. I figured that's my signal. I told my boys downstairs, all systems on alert. Vacation is over. Especially you, Petey, not the rust-off. This will not be another false alarm. I know it has been a very long time, but I think you can remember what to do. So I went into bed, and I tried the method that my grandfather and my father taught me, the old Litau lateral arabesque maneuver. Lorraine looks at me and says, what are you doing? I said, Lorraine, I took your signal. There are no Benadryls. I didn't get any Benadryls. He said, oh yeah, we were out of Benadryls. So I had to go back to my boys and explain, put them on hold, tell them we're going back to Sports Center again. But unfortunately, the next day, we both started shopping at Costco, and Lorraine bought a couple of big boxes of Benadryls. Lastly, my father's in the room tonight. I feel very blessed about that. I've given up going over my script with Lorraine because that never gives me much confidence. So the last couple of nights I spent a lot of time with my father going over these and getting a lot of good ideas. It was good bonding, and I'm glad to have him around. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.